England have finally completed their round of European 2020 qualifying matches, so now all our focus can switch back to the leagues, and we've got Rovers against Millwall with some fan input next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. This time we're taking a look at the mighty Blue and White up against Millwall this weekend, and we got some fan input coming at you in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We got all here under one roof skis. That's right, folks, and I've got Dan Sexton joining me live on Skype, who is a die-hard Millwall supporter. So Dan, for my small corner, just my small corner of the YouTube universe, tell him a little bit about yourself and why on earth you support Millwall.
I live in Kent, which is a little bit away from London. I used to live a lot closer to Millwall in the outskirts of London. I moved out now. I'm still a student. I've had a season ticket now for probably 14 years. I'm 17 years old now, just as long as I can remember, really. I've actually got one side of my family that's West Ham, the other side that's Millwall, so it's kind of a bit of a warpath at times. But as far as I'm aware, I've got origins at least back to my granddad, and he's 82 now. So
wow.
A long-running family history of the club, potentially even back to when the club was founded back in 1885.
All right then, cool, good stuff. So okay, obviously the international done and dusted. The transfer window was slammed shut way back in the beginning of August. Millwall made a few signings, but ultimately, obviously when you take a look at them so far, who do you think is going to be Millwall's signing of the season?
So far, Matt Smith has looked probably the best out of our signings. He suits the style of play. We like to play direct football up to Smith. 6'6" is always going to fit that bill. He's had a good reputation as a sub in the Championship, and now he's looking to try and start him. He hasn't, and I think at the minute he's definitely the best. But I think probably one of the people that will come good later on in the season is actually an ex-Rovers man, Conor Mahoney, signed from Bournemouth in the summer. He's looked really good. He's got a good delivery on him. He looks a tricky winger, and he looked for 22. He's definitely going to get better. He looks very mature for his age. I've been impressed with what I've seen so far, and I think that give a few years, he'll probably be back in the Premier League. I'd probably say that Bodvarsson hasn't had much game time, but he also looks fairly sharp. And PEEPS was on loan at the end of last season. To get him in permanently, he understands Millwall as a whole, and it's just been him and Cooper at centre back has been really good, and Bilkowski as well in goal. He's been good, but so far I'd go with Matt Smith, but I think Conor Mahoney will be more important to us potentially over the course of the season.
All right, some tasty additions you got there. Bodvarsson, of course, Conor Mahoney is a superstar standout, especially from a Rovers point of view. But who do you think is going to cause us the most problems this weekend? Will it be Mahoney, or do you have someone else in your eyes that is Millwall's danger man?
We're a very tall team, as I said. We like to play direct football. Set pieces are they're a big part of our game plan. So I think as well as Matt Smith, Jake Cooper coming up from the back will be a big threat. He's 6'6" as well, or 6'5", something in that area. So he's going to cause plenty of problems. I'd probably say as well as Mahoney on one wing, provided he starts the lineup, most would expect him. Probably Jed Wallace on the other. He's a very similar sort of player to Conor Mahoney. So if we can get those going, and we have Smith up front with either Bradshaw or Bodvarsson, hopefully we can get some service into them. And that's probably going to be most likely methods. Also, Ben Thompson in centre midfield. He's Millwall through and through. He had a slight loan spell out. We had a few squad issues last year. Had a loan spell out last season. But he's sharp this season. And a lot of us think he's going to potentially be playing for England within the next few years. He's 23 now, I think, 23, 24. So it's going to have to be soon, because everyone knows Gareth Southgate likes to bring through the younger players. So it's going to have to be soon. But he seems to be quite a popular one as well with other Championship fans. So he'd probably be one of the players to watch as well, depending on if he's deployed as a ball winner or potentially playing in a number 10 role.
Okay. So obviously you're not the gaffer for Millwall, but if you were the manager coming into this weekend's match up against Rovers at Ewood Park, who would be in your starting 11 from the goalkeeper all the way through to your striker?
So I'd probably have Bilkowski in goal. Right back's a bit of a tricky one because I had Jason McCarthy coming from Wickham, and he has only played in the Carabao Cup, which is a game I missed because I was on holiday. But he's he was quite good, and I'd probably give him a chance now to start. Marlon Romeo he had one good game against Sheffield Wednesday, but he's been a little bit inconsistent, so I'd probably give McCarthy the edge this week. I'd go with Alex Pearce to captain the side with Jake Cooper at the back. Them two, aside from when we got beaten 4-0 by Fulham, I think them two have looked a good centre-back partnership this year, especially with Bilkowski. That's a lot more confidence than the what we had this time last season. Left back's a debatable one. I think Murray Wallace so far this season made that spot his own, but previously we've had it's between Shane Ferguson and Murray Wallace. I prefer Shane Ferguson because he's better technically and quicker. Murray Wallace was actually used to be a centre-back, but he started the season well, held down that spot. And there'll be hopefully Jed Wallace. I'd pick Jed Wallace on the right. Tricky winger, good turn of pace about him. Just needs to probably work on his final ball a bit, but he's good at cutting in from the wing and picking up a good position around the back post for crosses. And hopefully Ben Thompson in the middle. I'd like to see him probably played as a more of a ball winner this week. I think that someone potentially might try and mark Bradley Dack out of the game, as he likes to pick up those holes in and around just in front of the back four rather than try and pull a defender out. I think he's going to be key. I'd like to see Mullenboy given his first start as well. He's been signed on loan from Brighton, and we've seen a little bit of him, and he's looked very good. He looks like someone who's going to try and get their foot on the ball and control the play, which is definitely someone Millwall have lacked a little bit. Definitely since we've been back in the Championship, probably since Neil Harris taken charge. So I'd like to see him given a start. And Mahoney on the left as well. I think, as mentioned before, tricky winger. Hopefully, if he didn't have a very good game out against Hull last time, but I'm hoping that if he can find his feet again, get a bit more confidence, because as Neil Harris said in his post-match interview after that game, that one of Mahoney's strengths last season at Birmingham was his crossing ability, but he didn't really put many crosses into the box. So hopefully he's got a bit more motivation to go out there and prove point to his manager. And up front, it'll probably be Smith. Well, Smith, yeah, target man, suits our style of play. So, and he scored some important goals already and played a part in other goals. So I'd like to see him. And I'd probably favour Bodvarsson over Bradshaw this week, because Bodvarsson has just come back off internationals. He has scored for Iceland, and in our last Carabao Cup game, he scored twice. And he hasn't been given a start in the league yet. So I think keep the competition fresh up front. We'll go for Bodvarsson, starting up front with Smith at the weekend, hopefully.
Cool. 4-4-2?
Yeah, 4-4-2. We like that.
Okay.
Times 4-2-3-1, but generally 4-4-2.
Okay. So it's very early days in the season so far. Millwall starting pretty well for themselves, but ultimately, where do you think Millwall are going to finish this season in the Championship?
Last season we had, I think, a 21st place finish was, because obviously we had our first season back in the Championship, finished 8th, beat everyone's expectations. Last season was definitely a bit of a crash back down to reality. There was a lot of off the field problems at the start of the season last season. As Hensman mentioned, Thompson out on loan. We had a few players drop from the first team sort of around this time last year. So I think last season, 21st, definitely based on the style of football we played, aside from the cup run, was probably about right. I think this season will definitely be higher up. I think we'll probably be... I'd like us to push on, potentially finish in that 14th, 15th sort of area, but I'd like us to maybe start trying to show a different side to our game, try and actually play a bit more football, because, as I've said before, quite a direct team. I'd like us to try and, if we could keep the ball a bit more, it would be a lot. I'm not saying play Barcelona or Man City football, because Millwall, we're never going to be able to do that. We're not going to be able to attract those calibre of players, but if we could just try and keep the ball a bit more, like when we played against Fulham, we had 15% possession the whole game.
Right.
You're going to struggle when you got 15% possession all game. So if we could keep the ball on the floor a bit more, but if we can sort of have a stress-free season from relegation and another decent cup run, I think most of us would be happy.
Okay, so let's take a grander picture, a look at the Championship as a whole. Who have you got for the tip for the top? Who do you think is going to be in the Premier League this time next season? Your top 3 or your top 2 plus your playoff winners?
I said Fulham would win the playoffs. I think that Scott Parker's inexperience and potentially where they didn't strengthen at the back. I mean, they've got Hector coming in January now, but that's not till January, so they've got to try and strengthen themselves at the back. And I think Parker's inexperience may actually cost them a little bit. So I think that will potentially cost them. I had Cardiff to finish second, I think Neil Warnock is probably going to be his last season. I think he just knows how to do it. I think once that striker they signed from Germany, I can't remember the name, but I think once he gets going, they'll click as a team. And I think West Brom will win the league. I don't think Leeds will do it again this year. I think West Brom will win it. I think that if Charlie Austin stays fit, he's going to be in that running for the Golden Boot. And I think Dean Garner is a really good signing. He's had a lot of Premier League game time, and they've kept a good core last season, and they've definitely got a better manager. So I can see them winning it. And I think once Cardiff get going, they'll be tough to stop. And that front three of Fulham, they've probably got scoring realistically 50 goals between them three, and that's just scoring. So when you've got like Bobby Reed and Kearney and other players that can add, I think that they'll do it.
And what about the drop? Who's going down? Who do you think will be playing League One football just like Millwall, just like Rovers did in the past few seasons? Who's going to be rocking it in the third tier?
So I said Charlton. I think most people have picked Charlton, a bit of an obvious. The team that always comes up from the playoffs is always a bit of an obvious pick, although Rotherham, aside from Rotherham last year, I don't think it's something like the last 5 or 6 seasons, aside from Rotherham, that most teams hadn't gone down. So I think they will slow down now, Charlton. I know quite a few Charlton fans, and they think they will slow down. They have Swansea and Leeds coming up after the international break. And I think once they lose, I think they will lose Taylor in January. I think that he said he'll probably get turned by a higher Championship club. So I think that if Taylor goes, then their form will dip down. I said Barnsley will go as well. Lost a lot of their key squad from last season. Manager unproven, although he nearly got the Huddersfield job, but he's unproven, that, and a lot of foreign players, and generally when you get a lot of foreign players and managers, it either goes one way in the Championship, as Wolves have proved before, or the other way, which a lot of teams have also proved it can do. So I think Barnsley will go. I think that will just cost them towards the end of the season. And right now, I think Wigan look vulnerable because their signings haven't quite settled in. I think especially once Moore and Jamal Lowe get going, I think that they will shoot up the league table. But until then, I see Wigan struggling. They struggle to pick up points on the road as well, which will cost them, I think.
Okay, now, here we go. The money question. Here it is, coming at ya. What's the final score going to be this Saturday at Ewood Park between Rovers and Millwall?
We're a bit of a funny team on the road. We haven't taken, in the last 2 seasons, taken us till January to get our first away win. I'm a fairly decent track record of actually guessing Millwall scores this season, so I'm going to go, a bit of a boring one, I'm probably going to go for a 1-1. I think we will go ahead this week compared to our last away game against, but I think we'll take the lead this time. And then I think Rovers will. So I think I'll go with Danny Graham to score for Rovers, and I'll go with Mahoney to score for Millwall. Actually,
that would be a bit.
I think he'll get a free kick or something like that. I'm going to go Mahoney to score for Millwall, and then Graham to equalise for Blackburn.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm not going to complain. Points good, right direction. Exactly. Optimistic, but Millwall are a funny old team.
Yeah, we know we are, and that's what frustrates us. It'll be brilliant one week against the league leaders, and then we'll lose 3-0 to the bottom of the league the next week. But that's football, isn't it? That's what makes you go down there every week.
Yes. Okay, well, Dan, that's pretty much all I've got for you. But have you got anything else for me? You want to say anything to anybody out there? Any trash talk you want to give any Rovers fans watching?
I did say Blackburn will finish 21st in pre-season predictions. But my logic behind that was because you weren't very strong last season. At the back especially. Yep. You lost Mulgrew, which on deadline day. Crazy. Which I thought that would hurt you guys a lot. But you haven't done too bad. And when I looked at that, when I was sort of following Blackburn, always keep an eye out for the results. I met a few Blackburn fans on the day. I looked, Bradley Dack sort of had a spell of scoring goals and then he went dry for a bit. So I was like, if he does that again this season, they could be down there. Yep. So I thought Blackburn would be down there, but they've had a all right start and they've got a good manager as well. So just got to stick with it. But I think they'll be all right.
But you know what? I don't know. It's a tough one to call. I think I'm actually going to go with a cheeky Rovers win. But anyway, Dan, thank you once again for joining us on the show here. Hopefully, I can get some words from you in a post-match style. Hopefully, you can send me some reviews or something like that after the final whistle. But until then, I'm going to let you get out of here.
Thank you very much, guys.
Awesome. That's pretty much all I've got for you, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. If you're new, smash the subscribe. New videos pretty much every single day on the channel. And hopefully tomorrow, fingers crossed, we'll have a Rovers fan giving his side of the coin for this weekend's match up against Millwall. And if you've missed it, you probably missed it already anyway. It's been done and dusted. But my live championship predictions are already on the channel show. You missed the live show, but you can still get your predictions in for that. But also make sure you stick around and check me out over on Twitch this Saturday, where I'll be doing live Blackburn Rovers watch along as we watch Rovers up against Millwall. You can instant reaction not only to the Rovers game but other games that are going to go on in the Championship around the grounds, boys and girls. We'll take a look at we'll give you live up-to-date scores as they happen. Not only Championship, Premier League, European football, all that kind of good stuff. And in the dull moments, should it be a boring 0-0 draw, we can talk about something else. We can talk about the international football, we can talk about movies, cooking, travel, rocks, I don't know, stamps, whatever you got on your chest, we can talk about on the channel over on Twitch. Check in the description down below, smash the link, head over there, smash the follow. You're in, no problems, and you'll be up to date with whenever I go live. But anyway, until then, thumbs up, subscribe. Ciao. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.